set up, and then we're starting round 2.
Okay, everybody, we're back from round 2 at the 2016 X-Wing Regional Championship from your hobby place in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I'm Aaron Nutley. Sorry about the technical difficulty. And the last time we had we think it might have been an amp that was running the audio for the PA in here was disrupting me a little bit. But we've moved the amp, and so hopefully we've been stable since then. So I think we're good. Let me get these lists in. We're looking at Ben Kavanaugh and Brandon Phillips. We'll get their list information in and be right back with you. I'm not on chat right now, so I can't see if you have any questions. I'll be up in a second, though. Ben, of course, won the first regional down in Roanoke. And it looks like he's brought something different. Sort of expected him to bring the same thing, and he did not. This new stuff I haven't really had time to play lately, so I'm gonna have to go. Pretty sure Ezra's a 4. I have to get those pilot skills sorted out. The new stuff I'm not terribly familiar with, so we're gonna be stumbling through this a little bit. Oh, here's one I know. It's no biggie if you don't have one. That's really not a big deal. That's okay. That's just for my little table mic thing. I have a power strip that you can use there. Here, switch that out for that, and I will take your little white cord.
We'll run this down there.
Well, I can't reach from that to the table. I already tried that. The white cord I can reach from.
So, how do you want to set this one?
Hang on, it's we can look into it next round. We'll look into it at the end of the round. A Zuckuss list. That didn't take long. It's really not a big deal, guys. I just forgot to bring it. It's not the end of the world. Okay, let me get one more piece of information from the players. I'll be right back. Oh,
All right. Round two, 75 minutes, starts right now.
all right. And Brandon has initiative in this game. Brandon down from Hagerstown, Maryland, and Ben over from Arlington, Virginia. And counting on some cards. And a whole litany of new cards and abilities that I haven't played a whole lot, so we'll fumble through them best we can. And guys putting their dials down. Brandon's YVs takes stress and stops. Ben's Ghost with a nice conservative move, one forward. Question is, what does Kanan do again? On this newer stuff, it's always great when people ask, because then they answer, and I get to know. So Kanan's ability allows him to spend a focus at range 1 or 2 to reduce the enemy's attack by 1, or 3 if you want. I mean, I guess if nobody's looking or paying attention, you can just make it 3. And he's deployed Ezra. Looks like using a 2-turn. I'm sorry, I believe the technical term for deploying the Phantom is squirting. So he's squirted out Ezra. Ezra's been squirted out. Ezra squirts out and barrel rolls. Dorsal turret. Question is, what's DT on Ezra? That's dorsal turret. And Biggs slides right in behind Kanan. And Brandon Getting his Gan Findsman moved to the left. I'm assuming he bumped the pilot skill to 6 to get him over Kanan and Biggs, but I'm not certain. I'll ask in a minute when I get over there. And there goes Zuckuss. Zuckuss, of course, a Zuckuss list flown by Steve Dodd, winning the Steel Open last week down in Manassas. Getting those range 1 shots from Zuckuss. And the Mist Hunter title really, forces you to take tractor beam, which is kind of but allowing repositioning on the G1 is pretty important. People tend to, it's a scum B-wing. Well, kind of, but not really. Without the ability to reposition the thing, it doesn't really play like a B-wing. But with the Mist Hunter title, it does. And Zuckuss at range 1 put out a lot of damage, as we saw last week. And all their dials are down. So we'll see the slaver. It's going to reveal a 3 straight. Green maneuver, dumps his stress. Easing down the bottom of the mat into focus. So that answers my other question. So Brandon using adaptability to upgrade his Gan Findsman to 6. Otherwise, he would have he'd be at 4 and would be moving there, or at 5. The Ghost pushing forward, taking Rex back to double focus, and Biggs with a 4 straight to keep pace. Ezra looks like a 3 bank. Is that what we've seen there? Looks like Ben's going to quickly move to jam up Zuckuss and try to put some damage on him before Brandon's support can get around. See how that plays out. Brandon's Gan Findsman with a 1 bank to the right. Zuckuss with a 1 straight. Still conservative moves from both players. Nothing particularly aggressive just yet. I think that'll change here in the next turn. And barrel roll to the left. Dials are back up. Yeah, Ezra's definitely a squirter. But I think I think Ben's decision to go ahead and deploy Ezra, falling in line with his plan here to jump on Zuckuss and put some damage out quickly. Comment from Trevor in chat. Maybe for someone trying to take Zuckuss out. I think that is, I think that's his plan. It looks like he's going to swing around and try and pin Zuckuss in. I'm curious to see if, certainly Brandon's anticipated that, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. Brandon's slaver. A 3 bank. And that's more conversation about the decision to deploy Ezra in chat, and that's it's fairly adaptable that way. The games I've seen, the decision of whether to immediately deploy Ezra really is focused on, well, how much impact is my auto blaster turret going to have here? Do I really need that rear turret? And we've seen he's made his decision. He wants more guns on Zuckuss for this opening. So there's his turn in. See if he can draw the purse strings in on Zuckuss here. A lot depends on what Brandon has decided to do with Zuckuss. And there's a 1 bank with Biggs to keep him next to Ezra to absorb some of the early fire. I'm not sure in this disgusting metaphor who is the squirter, Ezra or Kanan. I guess it would be Kanan. Let's see what has Zuckuss done. A 1 bank. So might roll, I guess, away. And he is. I think you want to get him as back as you can, but I think he's still got Biggs at range 3, so I don't think it really does a whole lot for him there. Oh, looks like he has gotten out of range 3 of Biggs. Excuse me. So Ben spends a focus to deny Brandon one of his dice. Hit and a crit. And he takes 2 shields. Nothing from the Gand Findsman. That's going to take us to Biggs is out of range. And he does take a shot from Oh, awful. Hey, anybody spoken to the poster?
I took the poster. Oh, you fucker. I always take the poster.
It's a good one.
Anytime I run one of those.
So we're back to dials. Garrett's flipping through the atrocious, well, I mean, whatever, the Hera cards, the Hera Pilot, Alt-Art Pilot cards. Yep. In that turn, Zuckuss lost 1 shield and Ghost lost 2. Again, sorry, I was planning on miking up the table today so I could keep better track of that. And I still really haven't unpacked from Steel last week, so I don't have my little white power cord here, so I wasn't able to hook that up. But I think we've got one in front of us, so I'll be able to give that a go next round, maybe. the green goblin. Garrett's got a big handful of green goblin cards. Green goblin participation cards. A little crossover action. Green goblin flying the ghost. What do you have here? Oh, ooh. Fancy acrylic trophy. Very fancy pants. Yeah, I made my little baby monitor gizmo, and I'm not able to test it. We gotta figure something out so I can test that. Definitely later. I mean, certainly I'll be able to do it for the single elimination when there's not so many people in here. I know. I had 6. For Steel, I had 6.
Really?
Okay. Looks like all the maneuvers are decided. Here goes Brandon's slaver. And it's a stop. Very conservative play out of Brandon with his slaver, not wanting to get that YV overextended for the late game, where pretty much anything behind it is trouble. And there's a 2 bank from Ben's Ghost. And a double focus. Might end up with a nice shot at Zuckuss here if he turns in aggressively, but if he pulls away, then we won't. Oh, Ezra's adaptability up to 5. Let me reflect that in the list. There we go. And again, Findsman coming around. Eager, but not too eager to join the party here in a minute. what does Zuckuss do? Four straight. So that initial pass, trading a couple quick shots, and it looks like just an extended setup. As they're now sort of maneuvering around each other again. And that's it. So no shots. So first quick pass, the pew pew pew, and that's it. And they're back to dials. I'm going to run grab something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Dial's still being put down. Dave here at your hobby place, gracious enough to give me a free Diet Pepsi. That's why I do it. That's why all of the steel open, the stream, everything's all about the free soda. Because I love me some free Diet Pepsi. I'm actually about to have a third donut, which is humiliating, but whatever, they're here. This is these big stuffed guys.
You wouldn't want them to go stale.
No. I'll have this cinnamon guy here. Guys here at your hobby place put out donuts for the early birds. Well, they didn't eat the donuts for some reason, so now the donuts are just sitting here next to me. So I'm consuming a third donut. It's okay though, because I mean I'm very active here. I've been doing the stream, it's burning lots of donuts. And there's a big two-turn from Ezra. From Kanan. Garrett consuming a cruller. Conservatively topped with some chocolate. Not overdone with the chocolate, just some. Yeah, commentary burns tons of calories. Right. Biggs. Ben really solid with his wingman Biggs flying here. So moves Biggs in there. And there's an Ezra bump. Okay. Now, Mike McAvoy in chat has just stated that the Pepsi's might as well be toilet water. So now, pretty much his judgment in general is called into question. There's a K-turn from Zuckuss, and now we have a really nice little vanguard of ships, and it looks like Brandon Slaver is going to be able to wriggle right between those two obstacles here in this next turn. So looks like Zuckuss is going to put a few into bigs here. Ooh, Ben's fancy pants regional dice. And Ben loses 2 shields off bigs. One shield and a crit. Weapons failure for bigs. So bad timing for bigs to take a nasty crit. Brandon's again Findsman. Looks like he's also going to shoot at bigs. And he's used Tactician to give big stress. And Fire Control Systems has given the Findsman a target lock on bigs. Got a question from chat. David asked, Aaron, what's my favorite ship pilot right now, and what are you anticipating flying in the future? Me? I mean, I haven't been playing much lately. I've been a little busy. But here in just a few weeks, I imagine I'll be flying some Defenders. See, Howler, I don't need your nasty comments about Pepsi. Get more disparaging comments about Pepsi. I'm not very pleased. I actually don't drink regular soda, not because I'm trying to watch my figure, because it's easy to watch my figure. It's round, large. But I prefer Diet Pepsi to Diet Coke. For some reason, Diet Coke really drives me out. So I drink a lot of Diet Pepsi. But Pepsi and Coca-Cola are both much too sweet, so I don't drink either. I mean, because that has so much to do with X-Wing. You know which soda I prefer. So while the guys fiddle with their dials, I guess the question in chat has been modified a little bit. What is your favorite ship pilot, and why is it Merrick Steele? It's actually not Merrick Steele. I like Defenders. I've always liked Defenders. Always found it's kind of a bummer that Defenders were not really playable. So I'm looking forward to being able to play Defenders. I like the G1, and probably the next thing I'll put together before we get Defenders back on the table will be something like we're looking at before I got fully involved in setup for Steel. I was tinkering with trying to make G1s work, and it looks like people have, because I think the G1 model is just sick. G1s and Phantoms, not Phantoms, G1s and Defenders are my two favorite ship models. Yep, the 3 dots. Someone doesn't know what to do with the seashells. So weigh in, those of you who are watching. How does it look relative to Twitch? Better, worse, good, bad? What do you think? Should I stick with this or go back to Twitch on my next stream? Let me know. So dials are going down. I think Biggs is almost certainly doomed here. It'll be really tough for him to survive this. But that's, he's done his job. It's not necessarily Biggs' job to die, but now also, if you guys are viewing it through just YouTube, certainly on a mobile device, online it's just YouTube. But if you're on a mobile device, they're 2 separate apps. YouTube and YouTube Gaming are 2 separate apps, and the interface is a little better on YouTube Gaming if you're going to go that route. So he didn't get clear. Looks like Brandon thought he might have been able to get clear with that 3 bank, and he didn't quite make it. So he's going to bump right into the back of... Yeah, but that's not bad, because it looks like the template is clear, so his next maneuver will be clear of that obstacle, so he won't interact with the obstacle on his next maneuver, which is good move. So a nice turn from Kanan, who'll stay in range to Biggs for this probably last turn of Biggs' time on the board. Well, I can't see this. Got some comments about another regional being streamed. I can't see their stream, so I can't comment on the quality of their camera or the quality of their overlay, but thank you for the kind words about mine. We should be picking up a new PC and monitor here within the next couple months that will dramatically improve the quality of the picture. I get lots of questions asking if I'm going to add a dice rolling camera, and that's really not the way to go. The way to go is to get yourself a camera that resolves clearly enough in low light that you don't need it, that it looks like you're standing next to the table, and then you can see the results and you're good. Boy, a little bump fest. Looks like an attempted K-turn gone awry. More commentary on the velvety tones of my voice, which is, it's very sweet. Yeah, guys in chat, thanks for, I'm not pimping the GoFundMe real hard because I took in enough money for a new camera or a new PC. So we're going to go get a new PC and at least bump the resolution up to 1080 before I hit up anybody else for money. Question is, am I going down to Durham to stream? No, I have no plans to do that. I'd certainly consider it, but guys down there, I would assume, will run their own stream. Alright, so let's see what's going on with this melee down here. It's a great deal of stress. Oh, he had the botched K-turn and interacted with debris. So his Gan Findsman there is double stressed. And he took a crit. Well, that was a mess. So, a green maneuver from Zuckuss. It's going to be a 3 straight and a bump. I don't think he cleans. No, he does not clear Biggs, so he bumps right in front of Biggs. So he will not be shooting at Biggs, nor will the other guy who had a pretty janky maneuver there with an attempted K-turn that didn't clear. But yeah, back to the Durham question. I mean, I'd have no problem going down to Durham Street, but really, I got a pretty full spring into summer, so I mean, I think I need them to put me up down there. I don't think they'd have any reason to do that. I'm pretty sure they streamed it last year. What are you doing, Ben? There's pondering and leaning on the table and thinking and things like that. Well, we're just running, unless there's a repeat, we're just running table 1 in prelims. Single elimination will pick the games, but I mean, there's 40 games going on. And that's for Blair Bunky, is that correct? Saying people on Reddit want to see Jeff Jones or Alec Robach. And I mean, it's tricky to pick and choose in a room this full. Dave Atkinson says the YT looks anorexic from this angle. I'll thank you not to body shame in my chat feed. The YT is just thin. The YV is just thin. The YV doesn't have any eating disorder that I'm aware of. I'm not sure who's shooting at who or doing what here. I mean, it should be Zuckuss shooting at the Ghost at range 1. So it should be a 5-die hammeroo into the Ghost. Not four dice? What's he shooting at? What has he done? Now I'm all confused. You look away, you quit paying attention. Now I am just baffled. Okay, this is Biggs into the Slaver. Those sexy regionals dice. Biggs has a weapon. I think it's what's a weapon malfunction. Drops his primary weapon value by 1. Okay, so that last bit of shooting, yeah, I wasn't paying attention. The last bit of shooting, I guess, was the last bit of shooting. Brandon was the Findsman into Ezra. Now we have what we just saw was Biggs into the Slaver. Now we have, this has got to be the Kanan into who? I didn't catch it. 3 and a crit must have been into that Slaver. Nope. There goes the Findsman. Oh, Zeb allowing. Forgot about that. So the Zeb title. Zeb crew allowed Kanan to shoot him up at range 1 with the auto blaster turret. So that wipes out. Right. comment. Maybe you can ask the players to point out who they. I could, but I try to be try to not be particularly intrusive to the game. I try not to bug the players when I'm watching at a regional. I mean, if it were, a weeknight local or something, fine. But at a regional, I try to bug them as little as possible. I can see the table, and if I was paying closer attention, it'd be easier for me to tell you what's going on. Here goes the slaver. Looks like he's got to shoot at bigs. Boy, those crazy dice are the results hard to see. Yeah, slaver has tactician as well. So Biggs has ditched his astromech. It looks like he's down to, I can't tell if it's 1 or 2 hull. I'm telling you, this camera I'm getting, once I put a polarized filter on it, wonky light, wonky dice, won't matter. You should be able to see them just like you're standing there. Can't wait. Very excited. You guys are back to dials. Let me go get you a damage update. I'll be right back. Okay, so quick damage update on ships on the table. Biggs has 1 damage into hull. The Ghost has no shields. Slaver has 6 shields left, and Zuckuss has 2 shields left. So still plenty of hit points to go around. And it looks like moving that amplifier had the desired effect. So the comment is that I'm the Walter Cronkite of X-Wing. I don't know if is that good? I mean, I could actually probably gin up a Walter Cronkite impression, but I think our average viewer is young enough that they wouldn't know what it was. So the question in chat is, what ship should Fantasy Flight fix next? Dave Manley goes with the SICK Interceptor, and Mike McAvoy goes with the E-Wing. They're both solid answers. I mean, I think the Y-Wing got TLT, so we're not going to see any of that. Oh, the Hawk is delicious. It's enough from you. And McAvoy, your judgment is so suspect after your anti-Pepsi rant. I don't even know. I find myself agreeing that the E-Wing would be a nice thing to fix, but this is a guy who thinks Pepsi is akin to toilet water, and I'm conflicted. I think the Imperial ships probably need a way to turn more green dice rolls into evades. That's probably what they need at this point. All right, dials are going down. Somebody commented the T-65. T-65 just got integrated astromech. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of love their way anytime real soon. Yeah, I agree. Somebody comments that Palpatine maybe needs a buff. Maybe he does. Maybe we definitely need for it to be harder to hit Sunterfell. That's what needs to happen. Okay, we already knew he was going to clear that. His template would clear the debris, but his ship base might not. So he might. Looks like he's going to bump into Zuckuss' rear end. Comment that it'd be tricky to fix the E-wing because it could potentially make Corn Horn overpowered, as he's already pretty solid. That's a good point. Looks like that slaver ends up on that rock, so he's not going to shoot. Is that a rock or is that debris? I can't tell. No, it's debris. There's a stress. There, see? Garrett. It's wicked. Guys here at your hobby place, just put the stream up on the big TV on the wall. It looks great. I love it. You know, my personal question is, how many players are going to put their hotshot blasters into Ray's illicit slot? Is, you know, what I want to know. So this game drawing out a little bit, but that ghost is down to hull and is about to really take one, unless that's a rock. No, it's debris. So we're gonna have a bunch of dice coming in from that slaver here in a second. Here comes Ezra, and he's gonna bump into Biggs.
There's about 25 minutes left of this round. You got about 25 minutes left.
The deafening disembodied voice is Garrett Hanshew telling us there's 25 minutes left. Oh. God? What? What is going on? There's a bunch of bumperoo shenanigans going on. There's a lot of conversation, and there's pointing, and now there's a whole ton of dice. I'm assuming that's Zuckuss into Ezra. And Ezra rolls a couple of aids. One crit, one shield. And the crit for Ezra. And so this would be who into what? Oh, Biggs. It's a reroll. He's going to have to reroll. That's Biggs' attack on the slaver, but he's got a weapons malfunction, so he has to reroll. Question is, did the Findsman shoot? The Findsman is dead, so the Findsman did not shoot. Two hits and a crit, and the crit is blinded pilot. And that's on to Zuckuss. So that's 3 dice from the slaver, 2 hits, because the ghost used a focus to reduce it by 1, and 2 evades. So he evades that cleanly. Zuckuss was firing into Ezra there. Well, and that's Gunner. So he gets another shot. And he does. And that. So he took his gunner shot on Biggs, and that kills Biggs. Okay, both shots were on Biggs. Derp. Yeah, for some reason I thought the slaver was shooting into the Kanan there, and he couldn't. So this is a little bit of a freebie for Ben. that blinded pilot on Zuckuss. So let's see what happens. Comment about the old schoolness of my mic. It's actually just cheap. It's kind of cheap, crappy microphone. So guys, adjusting their dials. I think a ghost K-turn is pretty likely here. Not sure what we'll see out of Ezra. A bank to the right, maybe. But it doesn't really, it's kind of pointless to speculate. We could just wait 10 seconds and see what they do. Oh, I think he's going to do this. No. I'm Nostradamus. I predicted that maneuver. Why don't you just wait to see the maneuver he chooses? So games are finishing up, and there's a great deal of milling about. There's a lot of milling. Jeremy Howard is yucking it up. I'm sure being picked up over here with his loud yuckster laugh. And there's his brother Duncan turning in his score. Garrett walking around looking officious. He has received more slips to turn in. I think we're probably at about 15 minutes. Okay, Garrett, what's time? 16 minutes, so not a bad guess. So Nostradamus, I figured out the time. I told you the time. There is a way to put a timer in the overlay. Maybe I can figure that out when we take we're taking a very short lunch break today because it's catered. Maybe I can figure out how to add a timer. This cluster, you're going nowhere. Just stop it. Just stop. You're not, stop. You can't make that. What are you doing? No, we can? All right. See, this is why I don't predict maneuvers. And he's on the debris. I'm Nostradamus. I predicted that maneuver. So he's on the debris. He does not roll a crit. Question is, how close am I to my next upgrade? Pretty close. Within a couple weeks here, I'm going to get the GoFundMe campaign's taking in about $900.
This is your 15-minute warning for round 2. 15 minutes.
And there's Kanan's K-turn. I'm a genius. I predicted that. And yeah, I'm be picking up a new PC, and that'll bump us to 1080 here pretty quick. Next few weeks. I'm a genius. I can't be stopped. Yeah, so new PC here in a few weeks, and once I get that up and set up, then I'll start stumping the GoFundMe again. All right, and boy, everybody loves some debris. Let's fly onto some debris. Now Ezra's on some debris. He's going to interact with that debris next turn as well. He's double stressed. He's going to roll up. Nice. What is that embarrassing impact? I think did he roll up a crit? He didn't. Can't see those dice. What are you doing, Zuckuss? Are you K-turning? He's not. 4 straight from Zuckuss. Blinded Zuckuss. Not shooting at nothing, no how. And a barrel roll. And so there goes his blinded pilot crit. And he's got a range 3 shot into the slaver. They're checking to see if closest point to point is through that obstruction, and it looks like it is.
All right, for those of you who have finished already, I'm sure you will be delighted to know that food and drinks are ready for you outside under the tent. So you can go ahead and go out there as you want. There's a little over 10 minutes left in this round, so we're going to let the round run out. And then it's going to be probably another 5 minutes after that to get things done, another 5 minutes to set up, and then we'll give you guys the notice to start the next round.
The disembodied voice of our I have no idea what's going on. I was distracted by Garrett. This is, I would assume, slaver back at here, pepperoni. Well, question if, yeah, he would question in chat as if Ezra will be in Star Wars 8. Well, somebody said no child act. Well, he wouldn't be a child. He would be a grown man. He'd be about, he'd be in his 40s.
Yeah.
And they're back to the house. Dial's going down. Ben and Brandon determined to run this one right out to 75 minutes. And is he hitting that debris too? He's not. So that's a 3 turn. He keeps all that stress. And 2 straight from
Barbecue or planes.
I don't care.
And then drinks.
I have. Thank you, bud. I've been given pizza. Thank you, sir.
That's that way.
All right. Template did interact with that debris. Rolls. Does not roll up a crit. But he should be stressed. There we go. More stress.
That was my Cinco de Mayo.
And it's K turn from Zuckuss. Stress. Eight minutes left to play in round two. So there goes the accuracy corrected auto blaster turret into the slaver. And he's going to shoot back. Three hits. And he takes two. Okay, so Kanan's at 7. You guys are back to dials again. And these round two games winding down. With Brandon and Ben selecting their maneuvers. Ben just deciding what to do with Ezra. Same old thing. Ben reconsidering.
All right, this is your 5-minute warning for round two.
5 minutes left in round two. So there's a turn for Brandon Slaver. Come around to the left. Trying to keep that big fat arc. on Kanan. Kanan jumps out, does a 3-bank, flying right onto that debris. Put that slaver back on his base. And he turns to the left, overflying that obstruction there. Takes a crit and kills him. So that was debris, rolled up a direct hit, and that takes Ezra out of the game. And this is Zuckuss, going to 1-bank to the right. It's going to clear his stress. I think he can. He's trying to decide if he can roll out of arc. That's what he's going to attempt. Let's see if it does it for him. I think they're conferring to see if he is. So his slaver is going to shoot at that ghost at range 3, obstructed. Just one hit. And here comes Gunner. And a target lock. So hit, crit, crit. Console fire and structural damage. So he's structural damage reduces his agility by 1. Console fire has him roll damage until he can take an action to flip it down. And I think Kanan should be down to just a couple hull here, so I'd be surprised if we didn't see a fairly aggressive turn in for Brandon to try and just take him off the map and get a PS kill with Zuckuss. But we'll see. Now that's odd. And what has Zuckuss done? Just a 4 straight. I think he's probably going to roll. So it looks like right now Ben's got him in arc, so I think we'll see him roll out of there. Yep, that's what he does. And that's time. So this will be the last round.
That is time. So you will finish out the round that you were in.
Good games.
Kanan checking arc. I don't believe he has it. So I think we're going to have a range. And here goes Gunner. Bosk. Focus, target lock. So that's 3 hits. Is that enough to finish Kanan off? Doesn't roll damage on the console fire. We just count it up to see if he's dead. Okay, so they've decided Kanan wouldn't die either way, so that's game. So that would be 40, 50, 52 to 52-29, so it's going to be a Brandon Phillips victory, 52-29 over Ben Kavanaugh in round 2. Hang with us, and we will get round 3 up and going here shortly. So thanks for joining us. Stay with the stream, and we'll see you in a little bit.